So let me let me catch my breath, and we will get started. Tonight is only questions. So sorry. Tonight is only questions. So everybody that's here, welcome. I'm very happy that everybody's here. And if you have questions, please put a couple question marks or explanation points or something where I can see it a little bit clearer. And I will only be reading those tonight. On Sundays, if you were here last night, I read all the comments. It's like 2.5, sometimes 3 hours long. Tonight is just going to be a rapid fire Q&A. So as soon as it loads, there we go. All right, I'm going to take a drink. Warm water. Okay, here we go. Not talking to me. Not talking to me. Yes, we do have Quail Con tickets available on the website. It is September 3rd and 4th. I am looking for the next comment or question. And I'm very excited about it. We've got 27 states coming representing all throughout the state. So that's super cool. I'm very excited about that. Can't wait to meet everybody. And we have a lot of things in store. So I'm really excited about that. So check that out on the website. Andrea Perry's in the house, says hello. Have you ever had quail escape through the hole cut for the Winola water trough? No, I have not. The youngest that we put in there is 4 weeks old. But I've never had an issue with that. I've never had an issue with that. So if they're a little bit younger, you might. I mean, they are Houdinis. I mean, they're amazing. I would say it's possible. Anything's possible with quail. Again, everybody that's here, welcome. I kind of feel rude not mentioning everybody, but it's rapid fire night, so just know that I appreciate you and glad you're here. Hit the like button, support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Is there a better strain or color that is better flyer? No. It has a lot to do with environment and how you raise them. They're going to be a lot flightier in an aviary rather than a cage setting. But if you're talking about dog hunting or dog training or something like that, typically you want to go with a neutral color is what they seem to like as far as training goes. I don't sell a lot of dog hunting, but I do quite a bit of training for hunting dogs. And typically Tibetan, Rosetta, or Wilds, not the jumbo wilds, the regular wilds, is typically what they prefer. Explain it. Well, my wife and I excited to be in the quail community. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Bars Farm says, hey, Zach, we have a jumbo wild and we are breeding it to your standard wild. What do you think the baby's weight will be? That is almost impossible to decide. Well, I could give an educated guess, but I would need to know what the weights are of those two birds. And even then, it literally would be a guess. But I could try for you. And then you could tell me if I'm right. That'd be kind of fun. The Rain Harvester says, is it okay to put the quail hutch cages near the chickens, or will the chickens or quail get spooked or other problems? No, they won't get spooked. From my understanding, they'll get along just fine. But you really don't want them to be right next to each other. The best practice is not even have them in the same room. But if you are, it's not the end of the world. Typically, you want the quail to be higher. It's kind of like when you're putting, meat into the freezer. You put, it's one thing's above the other and one thing's above the other, because if you put, chicken on the top and it thaws out or leaks, then salmonella will get to the roast beef or the, steak or whatever. That was a horrible example. I'm sorry. But yeah, quail need to be a little bit higher than the chickens. The chickens won't be affected by the quail. They can't get sick by the quail, but the chickens have a higher immune system than the quail because they are larger. So you really don't want them to be lower or at the same level. You want them to be a little bit higher, is my recommendation. Wow. I was rushing. Again, welcome everybody that's here. Tonight's a rapid fire, so I'm only reading questions. If you do have a question, hit with a bunch of question marks or exclamation points so I can see a little bit better. But I am very happy that you're all here. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Had some bad luck, 60 eggs, 28 hatching, 21 roos, 7 hens. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. I mean, next time you hatch, you're probably going to get the opposite. That's usually how it works. But yeah, that's rough. That's a rough one. I'm new to the quail raising. We all have to start somewhere, right? Absolutely, Les Spray. I do have 3 good videos coming out this week. I'll be posting one tomorrow. One is about best practices with feed. It's kind of like I think it's a good video for you, especially newbies. Another one is housing. I think that one's going to be pretty good. And what was the other one? Oh, 50% guarantee. I'm going to be explaining that. So I've got some good videos coming your way. I'm hoping, if things go smoothly, I'm hoping to get to assembling the beehive this week and painting / staining, doing something. I'll be doing that video. I'd like to do a video on an update on our Kuni pigs that were born. What was it, about a month ago? 3 weeks ago? So I've got some good videos coming your way for quail and for fun and homesteading in general. So stay tuned. But I do have a playlist called New to Quail and What I Need to Know. You can check that out. They're very short videos, but they give you a lot of information, in my opinion. What's been your favorite addition, hack to your quail housing, and why? We have changed so much. The troughs, the water troughs. Before we moved into the new barn that we built, we had them in our garage, and we had the cups on the inside. But if they're on the inside, then they go underneath it and the water leaks, or they stand on top of it, or they break it, or, you know, whatever. And so, I mean, all the time I'd go in there with just a flood because we still had a ton of quail. And it was awful. It drove me crazy. We moved to the new barn. We were building new cages, and Papa the builder said, you know, what do you want? And I said, well, I'd like to have the waters on the outside of the cage. And he's like, how are you going to do that? And I was like, I don't know. So he built something, and we put the cups out there, and they were okay, but they would still break and things like that. And then Winola Ranch was like, hey, I have this trough, so I just want to let you know. And I was like, send me some. And so they sent them, and we tried them out, and I was like, send me all of them. All of them. He's like, how many do you need? I was like, 68 of them. He's like, oh dear God. And I was like, I need them. And so that's probably my greatest addition. And now that we're switching out from a 1/2 x 1/2 wire to a 1 x 1/2 wire, whew, that's a huge difference as well. I love that as well. The sifter for the feed really helps a lot. Those are the 3 biggest things that we've changed that have really just saved a lot of time, energy, effort, money in the feed, things like that. Welcome everybody. We're all glad you're here. We purchased Quail Con and dinner tickets. Are they mailed or will call? So they are. So it's an electronic. I have all your information. What I'm going to do is once a month, I'm going to text everybody that's purchased a ticket, give them any updates, let them know my phone number, I'm available, ask them if they have any questions. Once I do that, then we will actually complete the order. You'll get an email saying order has been completed. You can print that out for your records, but with the text, that's pretty much your confirmation. But I'll be doing that once a month. What quail strain do you have, or that you know of, lays at least 300 plus eggs a year and still finishes close to or above the 10-ounce mark? Rosettas. I'm sure there's more. Rosetta's really are the only one that comes to mind. The Tibetans and the Scarlets and the Golds, I all know I know that they lay over 300 eggs a year. I can't remember their weights. I just remember being really pleasantly surprised with the Rosetta weights. I can't remember, but if you go to our website, I know a lot of stuff is out of stock. I'm working on it. But if you go to our website, you can actually see the descriptions in each one, and it will give you all that information. Average egg size, average weight, length of production, egg production, how to sex them. There's a video that attaches to it, and you can watch that. And that's kind of interesting because I did those videos a little around I think a little over a year ago or close to a year ago. We've got the new generation, so the numbers have changed a little bit, which says in the description. So the description typed out under the products on the website are this year's numbers. The video is from last year, and it's kind of interesting to see what changes in one generation. So that's kind of cool. I'm still out of breath, guys. Whew. Walking from or running from the quail barn to the house is not that far, but I'm out of shape. Looking for question marks. Question mark. I'm sure you tired of answering jumbos, but idea when the jumbo white wings might be back available. No, I do not know. If I had to guess, it's going to be around 3 weeks from Monday. But I have stopped all my corporate orders and all my balut orders. So I'm getting caught up with those. So it's surprisingly, that's actually, I'm getting more orders out as quickly as possible, which is nice because I'm not using those corporate orders or balut orders. I'm using those for more hatching eggs to get out. But my numbers, usually I can project and tell you immediately. This time everything changes because I have those extra eggs, and so I still haven't been able to get my mind around it yet. So I'm still working on it. If I had to guess, about 3 weeks from Monday, but I don't know yet. As soon as I know, I will announce it on here, and I'll put it on the website at the top of the page. And what's the average size of the white wings? I don't remember, but it's on the website. I don't remember off the top of my head. 11 and a half, 11 and a quarter? I don't remember at all. I feel like once I put that on there, like once I typed all that information out, like it just left my brain. Like I'm like, okay, it's here for everybody. And then I just lost it all, but I'm not too sure. Welcome everybody. We're very happy that you're all here. How old to put half by half wire, aka remove blue towels? We do it after 1 week. They do just fine. Some people feel more comfortable doing it after 2 weeks, and that's okay too. But after 1 week, we change out the blue paper towels. And so, you know, me being lazy, I'm going to say me trying to save time and be more efficient, but really it was just me being lazy. Instead of replacing the blue paper towels one time, I just let them on it to see how it goes, and they did fine. So that's what we do now. But a lot of people feel more comfortable doing a 2 week wait, which means you have to switch the blue paper towels at least twice, probably 3 times. Because once they hit that 1 week mark, they destroy those blue paper towels quickly. I'm developing a balut business. Awesome. Congratulations. Freezing water, maybe? We don't have the issue with that. We've got a lot of quail in the barn, and so their heat kind of keeps that barn. The water doesn't freeze. But when we were in the uninsulated garage, we didn't have the issue with the water freezing. There's a couple different things you can do. You could actually, put the automatic water into a 5-gallon bucket or, a 10-gallon bucket or whatever. And then it goes in there, fills up, and then it can gravity flow to the cages. You can put like a bubbler in there, like, you know, in an aquarium, and let the water keep moving so it doesn't freeze. We used a cow water in there. Some people feel like that's a little unsafe, fire hazard kind of thing. So you don't have to use that. That's what we did, and we never had an issue with the water freezing. How much do you sell the training birds for, and how many weeks old? 4 weeks old and $3 a piece. It's the same thing as on the website. We have an all male set that's 6 males for $3 a piece. The 6 males is $18 plus shipping. That's what we sell the dog training for. With so many birds in your community cages, how do you determine which birds are having fertility issues? Well, fertility issues are really a male thing. So we switch out our males once every 6 months, which is why we really don't have fertility issues. I mean, a lot of things can affect fertility, such as weather and shipping and rough handling and old age and this, that, and the other. Yeah, we switch our males out once every 6 months. I would recommend you do it once every 9 months to a year, because at about 9 months they start decreasing. After about a year, they're not doing very well. So I definitely recommend to do it at the year mark. We do it at 6 months just to keep our fertility going, and then we don't have to have issues at all. From 2 to 3 weeks old, how many jumbo quail per square foot and brooder is appropriate? It's a good question. We recommend, what we do here and what we recommend and works for us is 6 chicks per square foot up to 3 weeks old. So when they're 21 days old, then we move them to 3 quail per square foot. But up until then, we do 6 chicks per square foot. What is the highest humidity without drowning for hatching? Sometimes you advise people to increase temp and humidity. I have 63 out of 98 hatched on day 70. On day 17, I have been trying to hatch all day. Today is day 18. I can explain my process behind that. I need to find out how I'm going to. Statistically, new people hatching out typically have a lower hatch rate by a lot, by like 15 to 20%. I think that is because of a couple different reasons. A major reason is because they trust their incubator. So when people say, hey, I'm on day 18, 19, or 20, I can't read that. It's not showing up here. I'm sorry. Hold on. Somebody just donated $10. Oh, I found it. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Fox in the Coop says, wanted to say a huge thank you. I have 30 out of 36 eggs on lockdown. It's day 16, and I am chomping at the bit. I don't know if I would have gotten this far without your help and videos. Thank you. That is awesome. Congratulations. Thank you very much for the donation. And just so you know, if you donate on this YouTube channel, it is going straight to Quail Con for giveaways, freebies, raffles, taking care of our vendors, taking care of our speakers, a lot of stuff. I gotta pay for a lot of stuff. So any donations are going straight to that. I appreciate your donation. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. So let me get back to the story, I guess. So most of the time they trust their incubators, and I don't. And I would say 7 out of 10 times it works. So if you're on day, I wouldn't change. One has been trying to hatch all day on day 18. Okay, so if you leave your incubator alone, you might have 1, possibly 2 more to hatch. But if it's been trying to hatch all day, most likely it's going to come out with curled toes and very, very weak because it's been struggling all day. So it's not going to hurt anything to bump up the temperature by 0.5 degree and bump up the humidity 5, 7, 10%. The reason I say that is most likely your hatch is almost done the way it is. If you increase that temp and they really need to get out of those eggs, and you soften the egg even more, you have more of a possibility of hatching more out healthy. If you leave it alone, they'll probably die in the egg. So it's kind of a you can't really lose kind of thing. Now, I don't recommend that if you're on day 16, 17, or even 18. But because you're on day 18 and you haven't had any hatch today and one has been struggling, then I would recommend to increase your temp by 1/2 degree and increase your humidity by about 5 to 7%. It works. I mean, the numbers don't lie. It works for us. It's worked for literally hundreds of people. It doesn't work every time, but in my opinion, it's worth a shot. And typically, about 85%, you'll start seeing some issues as far as drowning in the egg. 90% for sure. 85 is a little iffy. But again, if one's been struggling all day and you haven't had any hatch, then it can't hurt, right? So that's my thought process behind it. Caitlin Smith here. I had to trade chores with my brother to make it. My mom is coming. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here, and good luck on the 18 and under contest. Go Big 007 is in the house, and Go Big 007 is the new admin on Self-Sufficient Quail. I'm so sorry. One day I'll get it all right. And I'm very excited about it. So on Self-Sufficient Quail, we are growing exponentially. I think we put it together, I don't know, beginning of the year, not very long ago. We already have like close to 1.5 thousand members. Jasmine Bass has been doing a fantastic job on there. I have been fairly absent, so I apologize. But I put her in charge, and she's been doing a great job. And with that, she has chosen Go Big 007 as well as PJ's Family Farm, and they've got a lot of fun stuff in store. So I'm really excited to see where this Facebook group's going to go. So make sure you join that. Freezing water, what to do outdoors with quail hutch. We answered that. Jose says, I'm ready to start with quail. Which ones should I start with? And when are you going to have eggs or quail available? I do have some eggs available on the website. I mean, there's not a lot available, but there's some options on there. I always recommend something that's always feather sexable. I don't necessarily think. I had this long conversation the other day with someone. Jumbos are nice, but it doesn't have to be jumbo. Jumbos are going to give you the largest meat and the largest eggs, but they will be your least amount of producers. They're going to lay the least amount of eggs a year. They're just not as productive because they're so large. So anything feather sexable is going to give you a ton of eggs. They are going to be smaller, but a ton of eggs. But obviously the jumbo wilds are the biggest of the biggest, which is why I can never keep them in stock. Jumbo Egyptians are really nice. Jumbo White Wings are pretty good. Jumbo Sex Links are really nice. But then, you know, you've got pearls and golds, and you've got Egyptian fees, and you've got a bunch of stuff like that that are not jumbo size, but amazing layers and really easy to take care of as far as sexing them out and moving them around, because you can just tell by the feathers. We just had a $20 donation to Quail Con from Hard Rock Homestead. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Welcome, and I'm glad you're here, and thank you very much for the donation. That was very kind of you. I will put it to very good use, and a lot of people will benefit from that. So thank you for your generosity. The jumbo is 12.4 ounces, and the girls are 8.5. That can't be the white. Oh, yours. Okay, 12. The jumbo and the girls. All right, so the standard wilds are hens at 8.5. Your jumbo male is 12.4. That's a nice size male. So if I had to guess, this is just a guess, okay? If I had to guess, I'm going to say somewhere around 9.7, 9.9 ounces in your first generation. You put those with dad, you put those with the 12.4, you'll probably be hitting 10.2, 10.3. I think you're going to have a massive, like almost a 1 ounce increase first generation. Second generation, you're probably going to get about a 1/2 ounce. But you just keep doing it and you'll do great. That, again, it's just a guess. Keith Hawkins says, question, any more incubator reviews coming up? Yes, I am going to be doing a still air versus a forced air incubator. I really was supposed to start that Friday, but I was by myself. George was out of town, and there's no way. I can't. I couldn't do videos, and I couldn't find the tripod, and I just couldn't do it. So we'll be starting that this week. I also have the Farm Innovator, and then there's one more that I already have that I just need to start. I'm thinking I might do multiples at the same time and just do separate videos to try to get these caught up. And then when I do all the videos, I'm going to set them all up in a row, same room, same cage, same everything. I'm going to put eggs in each one at the same time, and then we're going to see how it all goes. So Nurture Right 360, Huvibator Still Air, Huvibator Forced Air, Little Giant, Farm Innovator, and there's one more, I can't remember what it was. So yes, there is more coming your way. Thumbs up, people. Absolutely. Thanks for the support, Verna. I appreciate it. And Verna and Ed Got Bait are the moderators. That's why their names are blue. And they are huge helps to me on here and off screen. And I couldn't do it without them. So thank you very much. And to all the Facebook admins, you guys are absolutely amazing. I am very vacant on Facebook lately, and you guys have just been blowing it up and adding people like crazy and making it fun and interesting and giving advice, and I'm so happy that you guys are leaders in this community, and I thank you very much, honestly. Go Big 007 says, any info? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Go Big. Witch Doctor says, if we feed our quail sprouted seeds, do they need grit? I would assume, but I don't know that for sure. It's a good question, and I just don't have the answer for that. I don't have the knowledge for that. That would be a great question to ask at Quail Con, because we've got experts in feed and nutrition coming. And hopefully I will get them to do some videos beforehand. I was supposed to call them today, and I ran out. Oh, fudge. I gotta write something down. I knew I was forgetting something. Yeah, I don't have the answer for that. Hopefully I'll be able to get that for you soon. Another thing I've got to look into. Whew. Mariah is in the house looking into getting my first quail. How much feed does an adult breeder layer consume in a day or week or month, whichever number you have handy? I don't have any of those handy. But I could do the math. I know the numbers. I could do the math. Well, I'd have to get out of here. Okay, hold on, please. Calculator. I have a calculator, don't I? I'm so sorry, guys. It's been a day. Found it. Nope. I guess it doesn't. What happened? Open up. What in the crap?
Here's what I found.
No.
Okay.
What? Oh dear God. All right, so. I guess that would make sense. I'm going to go with that. I need to redo the numbers, so don't trust me 100% on this. The math has to be right. Why? What's going on here? All right, so it's Fine. Yeah. 0.005 pounds a day. Doesn't sound right. I'm hoping to get to that video next week as far as quail math for eggs go. I feel like I'm doing the math wrong. I know that's what it is. I know that has to be right. I will confirm it next week, but I'm pretty sure it's 0.005 pounds a day per quail. How quickly can the jumbo size be bred out of jumbo line generations? 2. Like if someone isn't intentionally being picky about their breeders and just breeding whatever hatches from them. 2. Because I've made that mistake. And then we had to start all over, and it was awful and worst experience of my life. I was so mad. But yeah, 2 generations and you can lose it. I've added 3-week-olds to an existing group of adults with no issues. Great, awesome. Is there issues with adding 4-week-olds to adults? They are outside and keeping babies in a extra week. Keeping babies in for an extra week. I think you can. I think that there's a possibility of running into territorial or aggression issues. But if you've done it successfully with 3-week-olds, then I guess you could try it. I recommend 6 weeks. Once they're 6 weeks old, you can add them to older birds. But you could try it, and worst case scenario, you watch them for about 15-20 minutes. If they haven't started picking on them, then they should be good to go. I'd probably check on them a couple different times that day, but that's the mindset behind it, and then you can decide what works best for you. I don't remember if I did. Hard Rock Homestead donated $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. How to pick out Ruse for breeding. It really depends on what you're breeding for. If you're breeding for color, you're really looking for the pattern you're looking for. You're looking for health. You always need... Here's a couple things you always need to breed for. You need to breed for health. And what I mean by that is strong, healthy legs. You need to feel it, and you need to make sure it doesn't feel bony. It needs to be a decent size. If it's under 7.5 ounces, you shouldn't use it. It's not great. And then if you're breeding for jumbos, obviously it's size first. But you're looking for, the beak. Make sure the beak is a good size. It's not extra long or anything like that. Make sure the eyes look good. The feet look good. Things like that. An overall good looking quail. What are acceptable jumbo weights for 4-week-olds? That is a great question, and I don't remember the answers, but I can tell you where to get it. If you go to our YouTube channel, go to the playlists, select show all. On one of those, it's going to say Jumbo Breeding Program, and it's week-by-week weights of our jumbo breeders. And I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what they were, but it is on there, and they're very short videos, so I wouldn't be wasting a lot of your time. How to know the difference between aggressive Rue and Rue with normal behavior? That's a good question. It really depends on how you're raising your quail. And what I mean by that is we have changed throughout the years. We were raising them for self-sufficient use, and then we were trying to make a little bit of money off of them. And at that point in time, we were trying to save them all. No quail went unused in some manner. So, we would switch things around. We would, change this. We would change that. We would put them in solitary for a little bit, put them in timeout. The larger we've gotten, we've decided that, you know what? If it's acting rude in any way anyway, we just need to get rid of it. So we call them, and they still go to a use. They still go to falconers or reptile people, but that's how we do it now. I do have a video. I thought it was pretty good. It didn't get a ton of views, but I thought it was a pretty good video about aggression. How How to Treat Aggression in Quail, maybe, by Myshire Farm. If you type that in the search bar on YouTube, Aggressive Quail by Myshire Farm, I'm sure it'll pop up. I thought it was a pretty good video, so you could check that out. And that'll give you some tips and tricks on how to keep them and try to make it work for you. But if you have the extra males, you just need to get rid of any of them that are just jerks. Do you sell chickens at your website? No, we do not. I don't believe in chickens because quail is the new chicken. No, we don't sell chickens here. We've got a couple egg-laying chickens, but yeah, anything else on the farm other than quail is just for our consumption and not for the business. I'm developing a balut business. I need some suggestions on pricing. I have no competition for quail balut to the local Vietnam market. What I would recommend, I don't like telling people what to charge. I don't want to undercharge you. I don't want to overcharge you. If you overcharge, you're not going to get any business, and then you're going to get discouraged and stop doing it. If you undercharge, then you're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. So what I really recommend is you find one customer you get along with, you can communicate with, and you can trust. You build that relationship. And then you say, I want you to try these out. These are 12-day balutes. These are 11-day balutes. I want you to tell me what the difference is, what you like, what you prefer. And I was thinking of X amount. I'm thinking 50 cents an egg. I'm thinking 60 cents an egg. I'm thinking $1 an egg. I'm thinking 30 cents an egg, whatever the case may be. Now, my suggestion on that is go a little bit higher than what you'd want, because they will try to negotiate. And then with that, they try them out. They give you your feedback, and they say, I'd buy them for blah blah blah. And then, if they say, if you say I'm wanting to sell them for 50 cents, and they say, I'd buy them for 45, then I would leave it at 50 cents is what I would do. So I would get feedback in your local area. And then if you get that person on your side, that's the greatest promotion and advertisement there is word of mouth. So that's my recommendation. PJ, I know it's not exciting, and I know it's not, an answer, but hopefully that'll help you. Zach, my Cooney sow came into milk today. It's going to be a long night. Absolutely. I understand the feeling on that. Eagle Ridge says, my 7-week-old wild hens are laying eggs, but very thin-shelled. I'm giving them ground-up chicken egg shells. Maybe not enough. How much for 5 hens? Quarter cup a day. We'll buy layer feed at 10 weeks. I have never used chicken egg shells. I used oyster shells way back in the day for quite some time. And it tells you on the instructions. So I don't know as far as chicken egg shells. I don't think it's a bad idea, and it will increase the calcium, but I don't know how much. Honestly, I just play with it. If they're still thin, then I would add, 5, or I would, half a cup or a quarter a cup a day. Go up to a half a cup a day. And then if it gets better but not all the way, then you can increase a little bit more. I mean, it's just hard to say, and I don't have that answer. I've never used that. But we did do oyster shells, and we just followed the instructions on the bag, and it worked for us. Do you have any laying hens available? I do not. I'm hoping to put in eggs next week to hatch out for sale, but that means it's still about 6 weeks out. And yes, absolutely. Hard Rock Homestead is correct. The eggs will get better in time. So you're kind of sacrificing some egg quality now for bigger birds down the road. So, but yeah, you could always add a little bit more, and that'll help right now. What size wire do you use on the sides for them to be able to stick their heads through to eat and drink? 1 by 1 is what we use. And we actually cut the T. We cut the T out. So I guess if it's 1 by 1, that'd be 2 by 2. I guess. That can't be right. There's something wrong with my math tonight, everybody. So I'm not going to answer any more math questions. But on the sides, it's 1 by 1, and then we cut a little portion, a little extra out all the way through, because we use the troughs. So there's literally, most I've seen drink at one time was 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It had to be 5. I don't think 6 could fit. Zach, I ordered 50 jumbo wild eggs from your company on February 11th. I received an email that you received my order, but was wondering if I could get an email when you ship them. Yes, you will get an email with the tracking number the day before we ship. It really depends on when you ordered. And I know you said you ordered on the 11th, but we sold about 8,000 jumbo wild eggs on the 11th and early on the 12th. So it really depends on where you're at. The other day I had someone contact me and said I ordered eggs on the 11th and I need to know when they're going out. They are actually going out tomorrow because they were literally like real early on. Like they were one of the firsts. Then I had someone that same day contact me and say, hey, I ordered at like 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. on February 12th, and they don't go out until like March 4th. So it that swing, I was driving. I wasn't able to manage it that much because I was literally driving forever, and I probably should have just held off and wait till I got back, but so I will get them out as soon as possible, but you will get an email. Now, some of those tracking number emails do go to spam and junk. So the email will come from Jenna at myshirefarm.com. I believe that you can get, you can put that into your email, and that person that is emailing, like if you put in Jenna at myshirefarm.com, anytime that person emails you, you automatically get like a red flag inbox kind of thing. So you can check that out because sometimes they go to spam or junk. My Italians autumn ambers are huge and they are fantastic layers. Awesome. Love to hear that. What type of quail does best, what type quail does best keeping in Celadon gene? I figured out our problem with our Celadons. We were grinding the feed. There you go. Okay, so I do want to talk about that for just a second. What I've had the best success with is actually Ruse, Egyptians, and Egyptian fees actually. But the Rue gene has really helped us with the Celadons. It seems like it just thrives better in there and the birds are healthier. But it could be anything, to be honest with you. It could be anything. I did not like them in the silvers. I did not like them in the silvers at all. But everything else was okay. But it just seems like they thrived in the Rue gene. But that's just me. It's a good question. Now, about grinding the feed. If I can't get my feed person to do a video before Quail Con or within the next like month, I'm going to do the video. I'm going to interview them because we talk on the phone or we text back and forth. But as far as getting together with videos, it's proven to be difficult. But with that being said, they did go through all the reasons why they do not ever. And if you talk to a feed person, they will always tell you never grind your feed. Now, I never really asked why until recently, and when they explained it to me, it really did make a lot of sense. So I know some people have great success with grinding their feed, and that is okay. I'm not trying to tell you not to do it. If you're having success with it, do it. But I've had a lot of horror stories with chicks dying. I've had a lot of issues with that. Not personally, I've never grind the feed. And when they explained it to me, it made sense in my head. So I'm going to give you that information. I'd rather it come from the horse's mouth, if you will. But if I can't make that happen, then I will literally write down word for word what they say or in the text, and I will read it to you. But I was hoping to have that done by now, and they were actually supposed to come here, and then I got COVID, and I told them, and they said, let's reschedule. And I said, absolutely, I understand. And then it's just been awful since. So that's written down. I will work on that. Nice answer. Thank you, Zach. Thank you very much. I don't remember the answer, but hopefully it helped. Can you do a video on feed sifting of water? What? Of waste. Can you do a video on feed sifting of waste? Yes, that is on my to-do list. It really wouldn't take that long to do. I just never can find... Yes, it is on my list. I'm hoping to do that next week. I was gonna almost do it Sunday? Yeah, yesterday. And I ran out of time. So it is, I think it's literally next to my queue to do, because the next 3 videos coming out are literally me either standing or sitting. It's not in the quail barn. It's me talking. And the next couple of videos I've got are going to be show and tell, if you will. Zach, you are still recovering from COVID. It's going to take time. There you go. Can I feed quail eggs that are freshly cooked back to my quail? I have never tried that. I've never given them cooked quail or cooked eggs. I've always given them raw, and that's worked. If anybody's had any experience with cooked eggs, feel free to respond to Patricia. In my head, it doesn't sound like a great idea, but I could be wrong. I'm sure it'd be okay. I might change my answer on that. I don't have the experience. I've never done it. So I don't want to give you an answer. I don't want to give you an answer that I have no experience with. So I'm very sorry. I hate to tell people I don't know, but I don't know. And I don't want to give you the wrong information. In your About the Golds video, you described the Manchurians as being plain gold. Was wondering if they still have the speckled pattern to feather sex, or how do you have to vent sex them? They will have a very dark brownish gold head, sometimes even almost black. So any dark head on gold Manchurians, 100% are males. And then all the gold Manchurian hens have no discoloration from the head to the body, but all males will. It's a good question. And I could answer that one. Look at me. What is the best quail for beginners? Anything that's feather sexable, I highly recommend. They're all cold and hot hardy. They all do fine. They're all about the same docileness. You know, they have all the same attitude pretty much. So all of them are easy to raise. For beginners, I think it's easier to not have to vent sex. So I recommend something that's feather sexable. You can just look at 3 weeks old and decide whether it's a male or female. So anything that's feather sexable, but that's why I recommend it and what I recommend. That's a great question, Jamie. Yes, you can feed cooked eggs back to quail. There you go. See? I had no idea. Thank you very much. Where do you get the blue paper towels from? Anywhere. Amazon. They're actually on our Amazon store, I do believe. Menards, any of the big box stores, any auto shop, eBay. If you put in blue auto, if you put in blue auto towels, it should come up. If you don't put auto in there, if you just put blue towels or blue paper towels, it is kind of hard to find sometimes online. But put blue auto towels and it should show up immediately. So that's a good point. Do you have a site in mind for Livecoil boxes, small orders? I do not. We used to have one, and they didn't go out of business. They stopped selling them. Luckily, we had bought a lot, and Jenna had a good relationship with someone there, reached out and said, look, we really need these boxes. And they said, well, we can give you our supplier that we used to get them from. So we contacted them, and I think I had to buy 1,000. I had to buy 2,000, so I bought 1,000 small and 1,000 large boxes, and you have to buy in bulk. So I don't know where you could buy just. 100 to 200 is not a small quantity at all, but I don't know. I forgot to mention yesterday, 73 out of 89 feather sexable. Look at those numbers. 89 feather sexable. Those are great. Congratulations, Kelly. You're blowing it up. Fox in the Coop says, donated the $10. Thank you very much. And good luck on your hatch. 30 out of 36 eggs into lockdown is fantastic. You're doing a great job. You are controlling that incubator instead of the incubator controlling you and your eggs. So you're doing a great job. Keep it up. And thank you very much for the donation. It is going to Quail Con, and I really appreciate it. My jumbo mixed birds are 6 weeks old. I tried vent sexing today with the whites, tuxedos, and sparkly and the germ pastel. Total 9 males and 10 females. Not awful. Not awful. Hello, Zach. I stopped grinding my feed like you suggested. That took care of it. Chicks are doing great. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. I'll let the people on here know the big reason that I was told why not to. Just real quick. But I'll be doing a much more detailed video on it with a lot more information. But, so, my understanding. Oh, I don't know if I should do this. I can't. I don't have my notes in front of me. I don't want to say the wrong thing. That's not a good day. It's pretty much you're changing the chemicals in the feed. So for example, they put this, the corn, and they put soy, and they put this, and they put that, and they put all this stuff together, right? And then they pelletize it. And then they, if it's a crumble, then they use a machine and it crumbles it up, and it actually is very mathematical. Like, it crumbles it up exactly the way that it needs to be crumbled. And then if it's a mesh, then they do that. When you grind, you're taking what needs to be in that little crumble or that little pellet, and you're changing the whole chemistry on it. I am saying this all wrong. I can hear myself saying it in a way that's going to confuse even more people. So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to get my notes. I'm going to contact them this week, beg them to do the video. If not, send me a huge text that I can just read to you so that I can say it correctly, because I can just hear myself and I can cringe at what I'm saying right now. I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm just not saying it right. But Kevin Carver, thank you very much for getting back with me. I'm very happy that it took care of the situation. That gives me a little bit more confidence on doing this video. I've been very hesitant on doing the video on it because I'm really trying to use this whole, there's 100 different ways to raise quail, and there is, and there's no right or wrong way. And it works for some people to grind. I don't think it works for a lot. So I have decided that I am going to do the video, and you're kind of just confirmation that I'll keep doing it. So what's the lockdown? Great question. So you put eggs into the incubator, and they'll turn at 99.5 degrees and about 40 to 45% humidity for the first 14 to 15 days. Once that happens, you actually take the turner out, and then you leave the temperature the same way. They're on the floor of the incubator, not on your floor, on the floor of the incubator, and then you bump up that humidity to about 65 to 75%. I prefer the 70 to 75% range. The reason why you do that is because it is time for them to hatch, and you need to increase that humidity a lot so that that egg softens and they can break through without using too much energy. So hopefully that helps. I do have a hatching process playlist on our YouTube channel that you can check out. It's on the main page. I think it's the second one on the playlists, and I think it might help a lot. But that's what that is. What type of quail mixes genetic-wise makes feed gene? What type of quail mixes genetic-wise makes feed gene? Well, I don't know if I completely understand the question, but I'll give you what the feed gene came from the German pastel collection that was imported here. The German pastel collection carried the feed gene, and that feed gene can be taken out and put into other things. So for example, a pearl, a lot of you know what a pearl will look like. It's one of those black and white quail, kind of looks like a snowflake bobwhite. That pearl is actually just an Italian quail that has that feed gene. So the feed gene is a diluter. It takes the color out of it and makes it black and white. Or everybody knows what a wild looks like. A jumbo brown, I don't know, there's a million different names, but just a traditional wild colored bird. Well, if you use that with the feed gene and you put the feed gene in that, it actually becomes a fab fee, which is more of a grayish color, still feather sexable, looks a lot like a jumbo, but has a much cooler look to it. somebody asked earlier about the 300 plus eggs a year. Fab fees, I think are real close to 300 eggs a year, but they are fairly large and they're feather sexable. And the Egyptian fees, they are real close to 10 ounces, not as much. They are laying close to 300 eggs a year and they're feather sexable as well. So I would look at those as well. Hopefully that answered your question. I kind of got sidetracked, but that's what it is. It just changes the coloring on the quail that you already have. Zach, can you do a video on... Nope. Zach, can you do a video of you choosing quail for breeders, layers, and to call? If you could show us why and how to decide would be so helpful. Separate video at 4 weeks also. I actually did that. I am going to do a little bit more of a detailed one later on, but I do I do have a playlist on the breeding program. I think at the 6th video, 7th video maybe, the week 5 video, I think I show you what else we look at. We look at the eggs, or the legs, the beak, the feathers, you know, how it feels, weight, all that. So the jumbo breeding program playlist on our YouTube channel will answer a lot of that, and I will be doing a more detailed video about actually putting them into the cage and calling. So I'm going to do a better video on it, but there is one out there already. Can you make sex links from Fab Fee and Egyptian? Nope, we have tried that. It has not been as successful, but we are in the process of doing Fab Fee and Egyptian Fee, and that is going very well. We're on our 2nd generation. It worked out. They were sex links the 1st generation. We're doing it for the 2nd. They are 3 weeks old on Friday. And then we're going to put those babies together and hatch out one more time to make sure that it is true. But it is looking promising. But the Egyptians and the Fab Fees did not work. Have you noticed a price increase in all your animal feed? We feed Kalmbach as well. Rabbit, quail, game bird, and chicken layer all has jumped up. Rabbit, $3 more, a $50 bag in a month. No. Well, I mean, they have increased twice. It's not been $3, but I don't have rabbits. It's not been $3. I think they've increased 75 cents a bag, which is still a lot for me. But they were here right before COVID. So what, a month ago maybe? They were here. We talked for a little bit, and they did say that prices were not going to go back to the way they were. They were projecting to decrease in the next few months. It's not going to decrease to what, you know, the feed's not going to decrease $3, right? But what they were explaining to me is it will probably decrease down to about another $1.50. And then it's going to level out and stay that way for an extended period of time, is what they were expecting. I've not talked to them in the past month, but that's kind of what they were sharing with me. I'm still trying to sex our white quail. They can be a little tricky. If you're new to this, I really recommend doing it at 8 weeks. The more you do, you know, you can go further back. So start at 8 weeks, and then the next round maybe do 7.5 weeks. And then the next round do 6.5 to 7 weeks, and then you'll be an expert by then. You can do them at 6 weeks easy. But they can be really tricky at the beginning. Which leg bands do you recommend, and what age of quail is best to band? It's a good question. I recommend the bands from Wynola Ranch. You can get them at quailcage.com. They did get rid of the chick bands. They only have the adult bands now, but they do great. And we do a couple different things. We do a marker, we do nail polish, we do zip ties, we do rubber band, we do things like that. But for normal case, honestly, if you need to, I would separate for the first 3 weeks on what you want everything separated with. And then after that, I'd leg band them and they're good to go. The only reason I say that is because the easiest and best most efficient way to do it is do zip ties, but they grow so quickly that if you don't manage that, you'll cut off circulation, and when you cut that thing off, it's gonna look awful. So it's real tricky, and I don't think I want to take people down that road. We live in the same town as Kalambach. Crazy for rabbits jump $3 in a month. Herd oats jumped $9 bag. What is going on with that? I have not seen any of that. That is crazy. Do quail ever stop trying to commit suicide? And another one bites the dust. No. Nope. Their entire lives, that is their goal. Your goal is to get eggs from them and be productive, and their goal is to either find the craziest way to escape or find the craziest way to die. So it's a constant struggle. Just a little something for the reship. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. About how many eggs do Egyptian quail hatch per year? Lay per year, maybe? I don't remember. Somewhere around 280, maybe 275, 280. It's on the website. I've had a lot of questions about a lot of colors and production, which is great, and you guys should know this, so that's wonderful. But if you go to our YouTube channel, there is a playlist called All About the Colors, and it breaks down every color. Now, on our website, under each description of every color that we have and every option that we have is a breakdown of the new generation's numbers. They change a little, not a ton, but they do change. Egyptians are 290 to 310. Really? That's great. Thank you, Steve. Wonderful. Oh, I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I remember being very surprised about that as well. Yeah, so 290 to 310. Man, that's great for jumbos. That's awesome. Surprised. I'm excited. That's awesome. I should probably talk about that more. Not until I have them in stock, but I should bring that up more. That's great numbers. There you go. Gabriel Fox says, where is Quail Con this year? It is at Myshire Farm in Miamisburg, Ohio, September 3rd and 4th. Any donations going from now until then are going towards Quail Con to make it the biggest, best, coolest thing ever. So I'm really excited about that. We've got a lot of stuff in store, and buy your tickets. Go Big doing the dab. There you go. When will you do your egg math video? That I did lie earlier. So the next videos that are literally in order is quail math eggs, sifter, and then a new playlist that I'm starting. I have 2 videos done. It's called Best Practices. I want to do a bees video. I want to do a pig update. I want to do a maximum production video. That's on my list. And that is going to help you get maximum production out of your hens and males. I want to do a video on when we ship and how we ship. I think that would help a lot of people understand things. And I've got a ton of quail hatching out tomorrow. We're going to start an experiment with red light versus regular light. We're going to do a 250 watt to a 125 watt bulb. We're going to do different brands. So I'm really excited about that as well, but that's going to be a long process video, so that won't be coming out for quite some time, but we'll start the process starting tomorrow. But in order is the quail math for eggs, the sifter, and then the best practices. So those are actually next, but I do think I told somebody that next was the sifter, and it's not. It's the second. I apologize. Oh, I've got a headache. Grafton Branch Homestead donated $5 to Quail Con. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support, and it will go to a great cause. So to answer your question, next week, I really slacked off the last 2 weeks. I've only posted maybe 1 video, if any, in the past 2 weeks each week. But I've got 3 videos coming out this week, and I'm hoping to make Sundays my video days to get caught up. Because I won't be doing auctions for the next week or 2 until I get caught up with eggs. So that's the plan, but we'll see how it goes. Things change around here. Michael says, I hope you're still doing the Chick Baiter Mini Dome. That's what it is. It's the Chick Baiter Mini Dome Incubator. Yep, it's here. I'm starting it. on Friday. It's actually in the barn, sitting right on top of the Humidity. So yes, that'll be started. I knew there was one I forgot. And down the road, we'll do more videos, but I do want to do an experiment with all of them, and then we'll start on new ones. So we'll try the Brincia, we'll try a GQF, we'll try a, what was the other one? Barato, and things like that. Best places to get 1/2 by 1 for floor. We do have some on Amazon, on our Amazon store. You can check that out. Sorry, reading a text. Yeah, we do have it on there. There was, I would have to look, but we actually looked up rabbit cage wire. I mean, if you look up quail wire, it's practically impossible. No one acts like quail exist. And then chicken wire is, you know, this, that, and the other. But we actually looked up rabbit cage wire 1 by 1/2, and we found a much better source that way, so you could check that out. Google it. That'll help. Anxiously waiting for my eggs. We're all ready. Thanks. And good to see you healthy again, Zach. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That is what it was. Fencer wire. Yeah. Thank you very much, Jeff Martin. Had artificial light on my birds for 3 weeks now and not laying yet. What to do? How old are they? And are they on a layer feed? I would need to know a little bit more information to actually give you good information. Gary says about 1 ounce per bird per day. There you go. Oh, because I was doing pounds. That's why it looked all weird to me, because I was doing pounds. I will break that down in the video to ounces. That's why it looks so strange to me. I knew I hadn't seen that number before. I was like, what? It's because I hadn't broken it down again. Hobby Farm says, hey Zach, my eggs go into lockdown Thursday. Awesome. Best of luck to you. And obviously keep me posted. Backwoods Baby says, I want to build an outdoor coop, 2 layers stacked. What is the minimum roof angle I need for the bottom cage for ease of cleaning? Also want to be able to use it for small buns if I get rid of quail. The flooring, is that what you asked? Roof angle. I don't know the actual angle. I wouldn't know. But it does need to be about 12 inches as far as height goes for the ceiling. As far as an angle goes, I'm not too sure. Ours don't angle. But if you go to Slightly Redneck on YouTube, you can search his videos for cage building. He's got an outdoor video, and I believe his is angled. I could be 100% wrong on that, but he's got a great outdoor hutch that you could check out and kind of steal. Alan Floyd's in the house. Mine Friday and Saturday. I don't know what that means, but you probably aren't talking to me. Oh gosh, it was 2 ounces of food for breeders a day. There you go. Also, I used to be Flossy Farm, so I got 25 tuxedo hatching eggs, and the 25 rare is what I got, and they go into lockdown Thursday. Awesome. Well, best of luck to you. I am wishing you all the best, and obviously, keep me posted. 1 year, 16 hours. And you just put them on supplemental light. If they're 1 year old and you just put them in supplemental light, I would assume that put them into a molt. I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm not there and I don't see it. I would assume put them in a molt. If it's been 3 weeks, if you don't start getting egg, 1 year is... Make sure you switch out your males, number 1. And if you're not getting eggs... Okay, so if it is a molt, if you're not getting eggs by next... If you're not getting eggs by next Monday, let me know. And we'll try some things. I'd rather not try to jumpstart them if we don't have to, but there are some things we can do. But I'd rather let them do it on their own. But if they're not laying by next week, you know, get with me and we will we'll look into that. Clarification, I'm asking about the minimum angle of the top of the bottom cage. I'm asking about the minimum angle of the top of the bottom cage. Oh, oh, God, what was that? I don't remember. I don't remember what it is for the angle. I know it's gonna come to me. Where do we have that? Where? If you go to the playlist on YouTube, Papa Builder of Things, there is a cage building video. It's like an hour long, but if you skip to the last like 10 minutes, I believe he mentions it on there. Where's an easier way? There's another easier way. Well, you can reach out to me this week and I can just look it up and tell you. You could do that. That would be easier for you. Rabbit should have at least 2 foot tall. There you go. Thank you very much. I did not know that. Yeah, I did not read it correctly the first time. I apologize, and I don't have that information. I can't remember it. But if you reach out to me, I can definitely get that for you. Ed Got Baked and Verna Young did put the aggressive quail breeding playlist video in the links for somebody that was asking. For the slant, I would use at least 1 inch slant. Zach and Jasmine, since you can only breed 2 times and then the jumbos can be bred out, do you move the 2 and switch to another? Since you can only breed 2 times and then the jumbo... yeah, I must have explained that wrong. So if you're putting just all the quail together, you're not weighing them and putting the biggest to the biggest, you can lose size within two generations. But if you weigh and you put them in classification, so if you say, okay, these are my 13 to 14 ounces, these are my 12 to 13, these are my 11 to 12s, these are my 10 to 11s, whatever the case may be. And then you use, if you don't have that many cages, you use the best of the best, or you can put them all together. Those 10-ounce quail will affect your 14-ounce quail within 2 generations. It is so much easier to lose weight than to gain weight or to maintain weight, is what I meant. But if you're putting, if you're putting 12 to 14-ounce quail or even 11 to 14-ounce quail in the same cage, it's not going to hurt you too much. You can do it generation after generation after generation, and you'll be fine. So I might have explained that incorrectly. I apologize. I calculated 2-inch slant, which is only 5 degrees. I worried it is not steep enough. I really would have to measure. I'd have to look. I don't remember. Bake the chicken eggs before giving it to the quail. There you go. What is the total investment if you want to have enough quail to harvest eggs for 2 toddlers who love them? We currently have 11 chickens, so we have some experience. What is the total investment? Really depends on how you want to go. If you go with live quail, then you need some sort of cage. You can get one, you can build one, you can find spare stuff around, you can find a rabbit cage on Craigslist and make some modifications. You can buy a Wynola Ranch cage or Dale's Quails cage. So it just depends on whether you're going very nice or very inexpensive. If you're buying live quail, you don't need a brooder or an incubator. If you're going to do chicks, or if you're going to do eggs are a lot cheaper for you. But you also need an incubator and you need a brooder. And you need to make sure that you have a grow out, so there's more things involved. If you go, I'll give you this. If you go as cheap as possible, uh, you could raise quail for less than $100 for all the stuff you need. If you go as cheap as possible. COVID brains thing. Yeah, it must be. I did not feel this way yesterday. I've been real busy. I don't think my brain is slowed down. My specific feed consumption is 0.03 pounds a day per bird with very, very little waste. 40 pounds of feed for 46 days for 28 quail. There you go. That, I think ours was, did I say 0.00? It's 0.05 is what I came up with, is what we were doing. What age, and thank you very much for sharing, I appreciate it. What age do I give my quail oyster shells, or should I not use oyster shells? If your feed is acceptable, then you don't need to use it at all. If you are, they don't need it. The reason to use oyster shells is to increase the calcium. They don't need the extra calcium until they start laying eggs. If you're giving them, we don't do it. We don't increase the calcium. We let the ride. If I can't use the eggs, I can't use the eggs. They're still healthy. It's not a big deal. And then when we switch them over to a layer feed, that layer feed should be between 3 to 3.5% calcium, and therefore you would need the oyster shells. Now, if you want to use those eggs and all of the eggs from week 5 to week 8 or week 10 until you switch over to the layer feed, then that's when you would want to do it. Hopefully that answered your question and that made more sense than what I think it did. Little Ridge Farm says, got bypassed. I didn't mean to. I will go back and look real quick. I don't see it. Still looking. Moon Outdoor Ridge Farm. I'm looking for. I don't see anything from Little Ridge Farm. I remember talking about it, talking to you a while ago, and I'm all the way back from my deletes because it automatically deletes after a while. I don't see any. I apologize. I don't see it on here. There's no. Nope. Nope. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I didn't. Oh, wait. What age do I give my quail? Oh, I answered that one. Got bypass. No. Okay, I don't know. I don't see it. I'm sorry. What age do I start them? Oh, I answered that one. How do you find a local feed person? You can look up local feed store in my area or closest local feed store. We have, what is the feed store? Brewbaker. Brewbaker Feed Store is our local feed store, and the company that we use is Klombach, which work hand in hand with the local feed store. And then a lot of our other stuff, like pigs and emus and things like that, we actually get their feed, but they can't really supply us with what we need as far as the quail. But with everything else, they do great with. Will Livecoil be back on the website anytime soon, or are all the eggs going towards fulfilling hatching eggs right now? Yes, all the eggs are going to be being used to get orders out. I'm hoping to be a lot caught up by the end of next week, put eggs in to hatch out to sell, but that still gives us 6 weeks out, so it's hard to say. But I am working on it as fast as I possibly can. Our autumn ambers laid the first egg tonight at 4.5 weeks. Congratulations. I think I've only had a handful of quail in my lifetime that have laid that early. So that's pretty cool. That's an accomplishment. Congratulations. Is game bird conditioner with oyster shell okay for laying? I don't know the numbers. I'm not familiar with it. I'm sorry. Game bird feed or chicken layer feed. Yeah, I actually have a feed video. I have one coming out this week, but I have a feed video. If you put in feed by Myshire Farm, that information is not from me. That information is actually from the people that constructed and made our layer feed and customized it. And I gave you that information. I would check that out and just match up those numbers and you should be good to go. What are your thoughts on dry hatching? I think dry hatching is a fine idea for different areas. It would not work here. I know Utah, Colorado, Texas, Florida have great success with dry hatching. They're very humid there. But I'm not humid here at all. So there's no way I could dry hatch. It really depends on how humid your area is. Great question. I just ordered the Egyptian feed, Coterny's quail hatching eggs 5 minutes ago. How good are they? They're great. I love them. They're feather sexable. They're pretty large. Some of them are celadons. Most of them are celadon carriers. And they're great egg producers. So I don't think you're going to be disappointed. And they're a beautiful color. And they carry the Rue gene and the feed gene. How high of protein do I need for my quail chicks that are hatching? Here they go into lockdown Thursday, so how much protein and calcium I'm going to feed store tomorrow. The protein I recommend for starter growers is 25 to 30%, and I do believe, you'd have to check the feed by Myshire Farm video, I do believe that the calcium can be somewhere around 1 to 1.5% for the starter grower, but I would watch that video before you go to the store. I fed scrambled eggs, no oil, no issues. Feed cold, not an everyday thing, just every once in a while. Thank you very much for sharing. Ed Got Bait loves scrambled eggs. There you go. Won't feeding the raw eggs back to quail cause egg eating? Nope, I haven't seen that issue at all. I fed hard-boiled steamed eggs back to them and just cut or mash them up first. Thank you very much for sharing. Again, I appreciate everybody here. I just have not, this is supposed to be a rapid fire and I am just taking my time, so I apologize. So I'm only going to be reading the questions. I already read that one. I don't know anything about breeding. I breed jumbo only 2 times. Can you explain the process? So you just breed them together, it's fine. But I've got a jumbo breeding program playlist on the YouTube channel that will give you a lot of information to look at to increase your size and production going forward. So I would check that out. That will give you a lot better information than what I would give you right now. Can puppy pads be used instead of shop towels? Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. A lot of people do that. And I found a really good buy. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. Not a question. Isn't there a lot of urine if poop? What? So like urine. It really depends a lot on the feed. Sex-link eggs, do I just order them and wait? The sex-linked eggs will probably not be back on the website for about 3 weeks. I don't have an exact date now. As soon as I do, I'll announce it on the YouTube and on the website. But I'm still trying to get my head around all the orders and get them out as quickly as possible. So I don't have a date yet, unfortunately. Zach, are you looking to expand your website reach on Google? I saw that you have at least 111 words stuck on the second page. If you're interested in getting some help, let me know. That's very kind. Thank you very much. I would be down the road. I mean, most of my stuff is out of stock, so I wouldn't want to do it right now. I don't want to send more people to the website and then they get discouraged because everything's out of stock. But I would like to do that this year. And that's a great idea. Thank you very much. And that's very kind of you. Stephen Meyer says, is it always hard to get jumbo wild eggs from you? Orders, it gets easier a lot later on. I'm hoping to get 100 or so in 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, this is actually our busy season. It started a little bit early, but January started okay. We were okay. February, March, our busy season. April, around the 2nd to 3rd week of April, we're still busy, but it's manageable. And then May, June, July, you're probably looking at 5 to 7 days out. Hardly anything's off the website, if anything. And that's pretty much for the rest of the year. So this is just busy season. A lot of people starting now. So yeah. How long after my hatching eggs go into lockdown do I take them out? Totally like turn incubator off. It's a good question. You really need to watch the quail and decide then. Ideally, if the incubator is running properly and all the numbers are correct, they should start pipping on day 16, hatching on day 17 and 18. You have a couple of stragglers on day 19 and it's done. But if they don't start hatching until 17 or 18, day 17 or 18, then typically you want to let them go until about day 21. So it really depends on when they start hatching. It's a great question. What age can I sex my hatching eggs because of all mine are vent sexable? 6 to 8 weeks. If you're not familiar with vent sexing, I'm going to say 8 weeks, and that is okay. Don't get discouraged. The more you do, the easier it is to get to 6 weeks. Now I can usually do them at about 5 to 5.5 weeks. And I can't even do a video on it because I don't even know. It's just I look and can tell, but I don't know. But I've been doing it for a long time. But when I started, it's 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Absolutely love the Pansy fees I hatched from you. These are some strong birds. Thank you very much. I'm very happy with them. We worked on the color the first year and then health the second year, and we've gotten them pretty healthy, happy, and plump. So I'm very excited about that. Yard Pimp says, just joined, but I had got some silver hatching eggs from you. Happy with the colors that came out. I had one silver, got picked on a bit with his feathers grow back ever on his tail end. Depends on how old. If it was still in the brooder, then no, they will not grow back. If it was out of the cage and it was actually picked on, then yes, once the molt happens, they will. But if it was in the brooder, they will not come back. Because it actually wasn't picked on. That bird actually pulled the feathers out itself, if it happened in the brooder. Do I put 1 male to 5 females in their own cage, or can I put 2 males and 10 females in one cage? You can do either one. We do colony breeding, which is kind of like 2 males and 10 females. We do it on a larger scale, but yeah, you can do, as long as the ratio is right and the square feet is right, we recommend 5 hens to 1 male and 3 quail per square foot. But if you've got a 10 square foot cage, well, if it's 3 quail per square foot, that would be 30 quail, and then we recommend 5 to 1 ratio, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, so that's, 6 breeding groups? A little less. It'd be a little less. Wow, my math is awful tonight. I'm so sorry, everybody. So yeah, you could do that. How many generations do you test for your verifications like sexlings? At least 3 generations. It really depends. If there's any questions, we go further, but we at least do 3 generations. And that's not the same parents hatching out 3 different hatches. That's hatch out quail, use those eggs, or use those chicks that hatched out, put them in a breeding program, and then hatch those eggs out, and then use those chicks that hatched out into a different breeding program, and then hatch those out, and so it takes some time. Larson Farm, you as long as it's... could eggs incubate at 98? My incubator seems to get stuck. No. You incubate at 98 and you'll have 0 hatch. Not a question, but excited. And one thing you can do if your temperature is running low is you can put a towel or a blanket around it to insulate the incubator, and that should help increase the temp and stabilize it. But you definitely have to get that temp up for sure, or you will not have any hatch. Not a question, but excited. I got 2 other people with some of my Myshire babies starting their own self-sufficiency journey. Awesome, congratulations. Not talking to me. I can see customers looking at toenail polish. Yeah, absolutely. What's the purpose of the leg bands? Just to keep track of different things. If you want to keep track of, what hatched of what, or to keep them separate, or different breeding programs. Some people use males for separate cages. I do not. I don't think it's a great idea, but some people do it and have great success. So a lot of different reasons. What is the purpose for banding? Yeah, just to keep track of everything. We'll use bands. For example, we will use bands for like the males. So like the non-feather sexable cages that we have, we'll put the male leg bands on there so that at 6 weeks we can just look in there and anything with a leg band we just take out and replace rather than having to vent sex every single one of them. So that's one of the big reasons. All of our research get bands. So it just depends on what you're doing. Got my thumbs up in tonight. Excellent questions. Everyone tonight has had some great knowledge, gems, and conversations. Loving it. Thank you very much. When are tickets on sale? Tickets are as low as they're gonna go. Believe you me. Believe you me, that is as low as we can go as far as Quail Con tickets. But tickets are $40 for a 2-day event. You got a lot of information coming your way, so it's going to be really cool. Quail math turns into calculus. It really does, and for some reason, my math has been off. But I've literally been non-stop since way early this morning. Like, I have not sat down. I have not stopped. And so I think my brain is just still, I keep thinking of other things. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. So I apologize. Scrambling eggs now. There you go, Steve. Grafter Branch Homestead donated $5 to Quail Con. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If we don't get tickets, can we still come? No, it's not going to be tickets. We're not selling tickets the day of Quail Con. It is only pre. Because I have to buy a ton of stuff, get a lot of food together, get tables, tents, chairs, seating arrangements, this, that, and the other, pay the speakers, and take care of a lot of the vendors and a lot of the, I got to pay for a lot of stuff. So, no, it is only purchased beforehand. Why are pansy quails so cool? Why? Because they're awesome looking. The pansy feeds are feather sexable, beautiful, carry the feed gene, very unique color. I love them. But I think it's all in the eye of the beholder too. Do quail tend to carry salmonella as much as chickens? No, not at all. Is there a concern during butchering? Nope, not at all. Point zero is, thank you very much, Go Big. I need to redo that math. I'm still not 100% sure on that. I need to redo that math. I shouldn't have done that. That was dumb. We have a spreadsheet on newbie quail lover files on quail math that can be downloaded and tinkered with. Thank you very much, S.O. Swanson. I appreciate that. So if you go to Facebook, go to Newbie Quail Lovers Facebook group, go to files, and then there is a downloadable quail math video or spreadsheet. I'll get mine Friday. Awesome. I hope you do. I'd love to meet you. Is there anything different for incubating jumbo eggs? No. They do need to be around that 70 to 75% humidity. They're larger eggs. And the larger the egg, the longer they'll take to hatch. So, quail eggs take less time to hatch than chicken eggs. Chicken eggs take less time to hatch than emu eggs, so on and so forth. So they are a little bit bigger. So if they don't start hatching until day 19 or 20, that's okay because they are bigger eggs. So just keep that in mind. And they do need a larger or a higher humidity. 70 to 75% works great. Great question. Hello, got my tracking number last night. How soon should I start my incubator? I know the eggs need to sit for 24 hours before they go in. I'd set it up tomorrow. Yep, I'd set it up tomorrow. And good luck, and obviously keep me posted. Redneck cage is flat, but they lay mostly in the sand bath part. Thank you very much for letting me know. I was just there. I should have noted. I was there at night. Any other web-based places for newbies to go? I am not a Facebook user. You could try BYC. It's a backyard chickens. You could try that. We have a lot of information on YouTube, and we have a lot of information on our website. We have a blog section that Jenna, my wife, which is a million times smarter than me, writes a lot of blogs. Not a lot. She used to. We haven't written that many blogs in a long time, but, homeschooling and farming and bottle feeding pigs and just gets in the way. But we do have some blogs on there that'll help. Standard cage height for meat rabbits is 18 inches. Good to know. Thank you very much. I haven't really looked into that too much because we're going to be using the aviary, but we'll see how that goes. But thank you very much for letting me know. Well, no known cases is a huge argument of quail instead of chicks. There you go. I'll email you my design and we can talk about it later. There you go. Definitely. Being limited to 150 characters is rather difficult to explain and ask detailed questions. I do understand that. I have cages in Louisiana. There you go. AZ Highland Homesteads in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Ernest Smith says, Zach, I had one hatch 3 days ago. Two more 2 days ago. Tomorrow is hatch day. Can I leave the early ones for a couple more days? I don't recommend it. If you're going to leave them in there, I really, really, really strongly recommend you don't leave them in there for more than 48 hours. I know that technically they can go for 72, but my God, it stresses me out. So I recommend 24. You can do 48. I know it's fine. I just don't like it, but it's fine. You can do 48. You can do 72, but I will never recommend it. So there you go. I would get all dry quail out once they're dry. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I just built my outdoor quail coop with mostly recycled pallet wood. Awesome, very cool. Was thinking of doing a YouTube video if possible, if people are interested. Absolutely, do it. That'd be great. Congratulations. And I never leave any in the incubator longer than 36 hours. There you go. Keep my mouth shut. I think we all cringe at the same time. Finding 28% feed for quail is proving to be difficult. Check out a pheasant starter or a turkey starter or even a boiler starter. They'll all do fine. I recommend a crumble, but you don't need to do a game bird. It's completely fine. You're looking for something that's 25 to 30% protein. I highly recommend you check out the video. Just type into YouTube search feed by Myshire Farm. Watch that video. It has a lot of great information for you, but it doesn't have to be a game bird. We use a pheasant starter for our grow outs, and then we customize our layer feed, but we wouldn't have done that. We would actually use a general all-purpose layer feed if we were just using them for self-sufficient use. But because these are not my quail, they're your quail that we're taking care of for you, we try to do better. Jay, that doesn't affect the eggs that are hatching. I've heard it does. No, you need to make it quick. You know, have a little box, open it up, get the quail out as quickly as possible, and then close it back up. But if it's open for 45 seconds, it's not going to hurt anything. I feed boiled eggs back to my chickens. It's actually very good for chickens. Boiled eggs retain the nutrients and moisture. Scrambled eggs do not. I would think it would be the same for quail. There you go. Thank you very much for sharing. How long can we feed grower finisher? You can feed it their entire life, according to Chris from Slightly Redneck, and he does fine with it. My recommendation is if they're standard quail size-wise, if they're colors, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. If they're colors, then I would recommend at the beginning of week 8, you do half and half layer, starter, grower. And then at the end of that week, just give them the layer feed. Transition them is what I'm saying. If they're jumbos, then at the beginning of week 10, do half and half and then finish them up with the layer feed after that is my recommendation. But like I said, Chris from Slightly Redneck gives them a grower feed their entire lifespan, even the layers, and he says he does okay. Wish me luck. Eggs are in lockdown. Day 17 is Tuesday. Awesome. Best of luck to you. We feed 30% game bird starter till 8 or 10 weeks, depending on jumbo or standard. Absolutely. That's what I recommend as well. I would change that protein. I don't like the 20% or the 1%, to be honest. I'm not happy with those numbers at all. I recommend 25, 28. Okay, 28's okay. One's okay. 1 to 1.5 is all right for the starter grower. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. I was concerned about the 20%. AJ says, I missed I'm at the well, I'm sorry. You can always rewatch, but I'll be back Sunday and Monday, so stay tuned for that. Ordered my first ever quail eggs from you, and they arrived this week. So excited I got the standard, not jumbo. Awesome. Best of luck to you. And obviously keep me posted. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out. Thinks I'm losing quail about 1 every 3 days. I would check. There's a video on our YouTube channel. If you just type into the YouTube search, why are my chicks dying? Check that out. That might help you a lot to prevent that. And check your feed for sure. Very happy birds. I would agree with Zach. My birds are so happy I could tell by the little party hats. Just saying, there you go. I really don't like the industry standards for rabbit cages. Mine are built bigger and more spacious because I don't think I'd like to live in a cramped cage. Mine are 5 foot long, 3 foot tall, and 30 deep. There you go. My quail love scratch and game starter. There you go. Got to head out about bedtime for this gal. Great Q&A tonight, Zach. This community is fantastic. Also, great job, mods. Verna and Ed, always on top of those tips and links. Love y'all. Thank you very much. Absolutely. And they do amazing. TSC Tractor Supply has 30% protein turkey game bird starter grower crumbles. $20 for 40 bags. That's a little high, but it's a good number. It's a good number. 30%, there you go. I'm coming for dinner in September. Just got my tickets for Quail Con. Awesome. I can't wait to meet you. I really can't wait to meet you, Katrina. That is going to be super exciting, and I can't wait. I think we all spoil the quail a little bit. Thanks for the great info tonight. My jumbo brown eggs I got from you are now 15 weeks old and over a pound. That is awesome. Congratulations. You're doing very well. Already have 27 states coming to QuailCon, 21 to go. And I think we had a couple more since I talked to you last, S.O. Swanson. So I will update you tomorrow because I am exhausted. And I've got an even bigger day tomorrow. So everybody, that was it. That was not rapid fire. I need to do better. I apologize, but thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for hitting the like button. I didn't mention it that much tonight, but you guys are awesome. If you haven't, hit the like button, support the channel. I greatly appreciate it. We've got some really good videos coming your way because I've already done 3. I just have to post them. So I'm pretty excited about that. They will be coming this week, so stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications so you can see all the awesome stuff we have coming your way. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, and if you could, if by chance, if this channel is helping you, if you could find just a short video that's really helped you on your journey with Coturnix quail, or educated, encouraged, or enthused you in any way, if you could maybe share that to any of your social media things or anything like that, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to make a huge bump in YouTube to try to get more people involved. It is springtime. It seems like a lot of people are interested in doing things at this time of the year, and not necessarily that I'm selling eggs to them because I don't have hardly anything to sell, but I'd love for people to get more interested in it. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. That'd be awesome. Thank you for the donations tonight. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks for the likes, and we will see you, well, you'll see me 3 more times this week with the videos, but I'll see you all Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the community setting live Q&A. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, everybody.